week 40. Crazy, it's been so long. Yeah, I can't promise this week's going to be too long, but there's a important meeting on Wednesday, so there will be some prep for that, and then the meeting itself. I don't think there'll be much else, not that I can think of. It's not that busy a week, but we'll see. So I will update later today with some prep on what I'm doing for the meeting, and then on Wednesday for the actual meeting itself and how that went. Okay, let's take a look at getting this plan sorted for tomorrow's meeting. Gosh, I'm hungry. I'll get some food and then we'll look at the plan. We'll get probably a time lapse on so you can see, and then I'll show you once I've got a full plan sorted. Okay, so I've done a overview of the Skeeal series, so my story as well as two others that have kind of passed the ideation stage. I've got a bit more info about them, but obviously not yet in production, so maybe pre-production, maybe that's the stage they're in. So yeah, two others of those, which both I think help tell that same story of small businesses on the island. So I think ideas that would definitely go ahead if we've got funding for them. I also did a just a general one-pager from all of my scripts, kind of just the local support paradox and kind of the idea behind that series, as well as then Skeeal and kind of where that ultimately is going, just to help small businesses growing a media platform, championing local business. Yeah, and then breaking down the idea for kind of the bingo cards, that if you read the comments on last week, the screenshots I put up from that video, if you did, you did. I mentioned about a bingo card. So I've got two that I'm working on. One for helping small businesses grow, and then another for helping the working poor, which is people that are in work but still can't afford to live. So essentially a bingo card is 25 tiles. So there's a list of 25 ideas that all help in the two categories. So I added a bit about that as well. Yeah, so hopefully that just gives me a good heading going into it. So I don't think I've actually told you who the meeting is with. So Chamber of Commerce. So I was very surprised to get a DM from Nicole, who is the membership and engagement lead at the Chamber. So she messaged me a few weeks back, and then she went on holiday. She was on leave until like last week. So we sorted in for Wednesday, for the 26th. So yeah, so it was a really great DM to get. Obviously, just great to get people reaching out like that. And then so when I messaged her yesterday just to make sure we were still good to go ahead, and she actually said that Rebecca, who is the CEO, Rebecca George, who's the CEO of Chamber, she's also going to join. So even better, we get two of them. Hopefully that's not them teaming up on me, because obviously I did that one video about minimum wage that did use them as a convenient enemy. Hopefully that's not what they're gonna speak to me about. But hopefully it's just about the overarching idea and just what Chamber does and kind of where they want to take it, where support can be, and all that jazz. So yeah, so maybe I'll throw some screenshots up of the one pages that I've done, and then yeah, I will check back in the morning before heading to this meeting, and then I'll let you know how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, and it's Edward Scissorhands I'm watching. Apparently it's a Christmas film. Apparently. It's been a while since I've watched it, and it's not Christmassy yet. I was going to put on The Nightmare Before Christmas, because that's a film you're supposed to watch in between Christmas and Halloween. And yeah, Edward Scissorhands came up on the list of Christmas films, so I'm watching that now, and then I'll watch Nightmare Before Christmas, probably on Monday, when actually I can start watching proper Christmas films. Okay, it's Saturday, 4:48, so I am just about to start editing this week's video. I'm conscious I haven't done a piece in between the meeting I had with Chamber of Commerce on Wednesday, and then anything since then. So the meeting was well. It went well. It was good. I met with Rebecca, who's Chamber CEO, and Nicola, who's their engagement and business lead, I think it is her title. Originally it was just going to be with Nicola engagement for she reached out on Facebook, which was great to hear from. I thought it was been a great opportunity to talk about the projects that I've got going on with Skeeal, so my story, and then other projects that we had planned that I thought would have worked well with that relationship with Chamber. And obviously, unfortunately, with Rebecca being there, it was great for the meeting, but it meant we didn't get to talk much about engagement. It then turned into a very much this is Chamber, this is why you shouldn't hate us type meeting, which I suspected it might have come from that, which again, from the video about minimum wage, I used them as a convenient villain in that video, in that reel, to really showcase how business are trying to put hurdles in the way of fair pay. Now, obviously, with that conversation, I get the feeling she's still against a minimum wage increase, but we were able to find some common ground through just realizing that without increasing the whole island, bringing the whole island up, then businesses will continue to fail, because, as I've said previously, even next year when the minimum wage increase comes in, it's easy to forget that so many businesses have already closed, which is nothing to do with the minimum wage increase that's coming in, and it's just a symptom of the system that we've got, unfortunately. So we were able to find some common ground there, and there was a saying I heard or read earlier this week that I've used a couple of times, but I then used it in the meeting, which is capitalism only works if people have capital to spend, because I feel like that's quite relevant. There's a growing proportion on the island. Back in 2019, it was 9% of the island was on less than a living wage. That's now skyrocketed up to above 20%. So clearly that's not sustainable, which is why so many businesses are struggling, because so many of the population is struggling. They're not able to then choose to support local, and they have to choose the cheapest option available. which is really sad, and we shouldn't be living like that. It's just not fair. And yeah, so that was that meeting. They invited me to become a member of Chamber, and because obviously Skeeal is in its infancy, in like their first year you get free membership of Chamber, so talking about that, what was really interesting is she recognises that they don't represent the full business landscape. They still only recognise the big businesses, really. They don't have members that are coffee shops and small businesses like that. They still only represent the big businesses, which she said when she became CEO, it was very much a big old man's club that, big businessmen around a table trying to influence. And it, again, she said at the heart, they are still a lobby group. That's their main aim. They don't really, as much as they do their meetings and events, it's still their main aim is lobbying government. So they don't, which is strange. Their main aim should be to support businesses, but their main aim is to lobby government for change, which typically comes at the detriment of the wider population. So she's trying to represent more a wider variety of businesses. Represent small businesses would be great, because I think their voices would greatly outnumber the big businesses, and hopefully change the way that they're lobbying to change it towards more support that they can be provided for businesses, rather than rules for how businesses are mandated, which is what you see with likes of the US government's involvement with businesses. How they just give them tax breaks, as you see in this government now, which doesn't benefit the wider population at all. And studies have shown that if you give tax breaks, they're not likely to increase productivity. They're not likely to hire more people. It's just they get more money in their pockets. So clearly, that's not the way to be looking at the market. But yeah, it was a good meeting. I've sent some follow-up details to Nicola. She didn't reply. I sent her the morning after. I sent her a thank you, and then outlining the projects we've got going on with Skeeal, to see if she wanted to be involved, as well as asking just for any further advice that they think might help small businesses. But they haven't got back to me yet, so it will be interesting to see if they do get back to me, where that'll go. In terms of then projects, like I say, I don't think, because they're very much focused on just lobbying government, they're not really focused on supporting small businesses, really. They focus on those medium to large businesses by the seam of things. So it'd be interesting to see, for engagement side for the projects, it's probably going to be next steps is speaking to the government and the business side of that. I can't remember what the department's called, and then Department of Enterprise as well, to see if that's somewhere, the avenue that's maybe the best to go down. So we'll see. It's getting later into the year, so it's probably looking at finding a job again to supplement the income to be able to continue with projects. So that's something that will continue on over the festive period. I suppose it's a good time of year, because this is where people tend to be hiring this time of the year before Christmas. So we all see before the budgets shrink again in the new year. Yeah, that'll be no doubt content of a proper vlog later down the line. No short form video to end this week's vlog off with, because I didn't get out to record it this morning. My sleep schedule is all over the place, so I was up at 9 this morning, and then by the time I was up and ready, my parents were coming in for coffee, so I didn't get time to record a video. But hopefully we'll get that done tomorrow at some point, in between all the family bits. So yeah, it's a video from the business environment and condition survey. Is that what it's called? Yeah, sounds about right. And yeah, the script was very much a case of around that and highlighting the three main concerns for businesses from H1 this year, and how they are the same as normal people. Every household, it's inflation, energy costs, utility costs, and a fall in demand. It's the same core struggles that everyone faces, and it's highlighting that those are the main concerns. It's how we can get fair energy prices through green energy to reduce the fluctuation in energy prices, which has caused a knock-on effect for inflation and just a lot of the business struggles with bills going up. And it's how we can then fix like sort of rents and overheads for other businesses which factor into inflation. And again, I think if we can fix that, then there's no reason we couldn't have a fair living wage as a minimum wage, which again would fix so many issues, just because then people wouldn't be forced to choose the lowest option and would be able to buy local, because it is more expensive to buy local because you don't have the economies of scale. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. We'll see if I can get that recorded this week and get that up. If I do, then it'll be part of next week's video. If not, then I've lost a bet and I will abandon the island before I have to pay. I run away from my debts. No, I'll get it done. I will. Probably tomorrow morning before I get started on decorating for the festive period, for the holidays, for the Christmas. And then I will probably have some recording bits done for next week's vlog, started tomorrow as well, so an early start. So hopefully a bit more content. I don't know if there's much event type stuff going on throughout the week, but there will be more personal bits that I can probably include in the vlog that's not too much family, because there is a lot of family stuff going on at the moment, so I don't want to include that in the vlog, hence why there's less content. But hopefully I'm dragging these speaking bits out to make a full video. But I've got food in the oven, so this is me wrapping up. I hope you enjoyed this week's, for whatever was like a drone shot to start the week off, and then just go into the meeting straight away with some time lapse. I can't remember. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, all that jazz, like, whatever it is. And I will see you next week. Ciao for now.